All right, so here we are, and I am off on another adventure. And I thought I would start off just by letting you know what's going on. So it's summer of 2026, and I was asked by an old friend of mine to join him on an expedition. This is mostly all about him and his partner, but since it's my vlog, I guess it's me doing the chatting. My friend Tim and his partner Leanna are going to be undertaking an absolutely astounding expedition called Wings of Survival. And they are going to be heading up to Prudhoe Bay in Alaska, the northernmost point that you can drive, and dipping their selves into the Arctic Ocean, into the Beaufort Sea, and then getting on their bicycles and cycling from Alaska all the way down to Patagonia in Chile. It's a distance of 30,000 kilometers. It's going to take 9 months, go through 15 countries, and be an absolute endurance process. They're looking on covering roughly 150 kilometers a day, every day, nonstop, until they get down to the bottom. And they're doing this for a reason. My friend Tim is he's got his PhD, environmental scientist, tropical ecologist, I think is the technical name for it. And he is focused on bird migrations. And for those of us that don't know, and I was one of those before I was talking to him, the world has 8 flyways, basically north to south lanes that pretty well every migratory bird flies up and down on their way from living ground to breeding ground and back and forth. So when you see birds going across the sky, they're probably all heading in roughly the same position, roughly the same direction. And this is a huge journey for these birds. It's a massive one. And for them, much like it is for the monarchs, they have an arduous and difficult trek ahead of them. And it's very difficult for them, but it's getting more difficult as we go, mostly because of habitat loss. What happens is as they travel from the very top to the very bottom or back again, they have several stop off, refuel, rest areas, all of these places. For the birds that Tim has been looking at, this is all along the coastline, the west coast of the Americas. And let's face it, shoreline, coastland, ocean view is great real estate, and people love these places too. So they are making homes for us, or way stations, or refueling stations, or rest stations for us, and slowly pushing the birds out of that spot. And if you get a big enough stretch that doesn't have an adequate rest and refuel station, then they won't be able to make that step, and they won't make the journey. And that means they won't be getting back to breed, or they won't be getting back to feed or to live. And in the past couple of decades, I'm not entirely sure exactly how long, but I think in the last 2 decades, the whimbrel, the bird that Tim is studying, has lost over 70% of its population. So they're facing a real difficulty process. They're facing a real place where we're not entirely sure how things are going to end up. And this is an issue. So they are going to be starting up in Alaska. They are going to be going all the way down. They're going to be holding various events and various talks. And every Friday, if I remember right, they're going to be getting on the Zoom camera and talking to different classrooms all the way across. I think the classrooms right now are just in Canada and North America, but hopefully to classrooms even farther out. And so they asked me, they got a sponsorship for a crew van, which is going to be following them all the way down. And as Tim said, he's like, we've got this van, it's sponsored, it's a great thing, but we don't have a driver for the stretch from Alaska down to Vancouver. Are you interested? And so here I am, all packed up and rolling. To be honest, this film is a few days in. I'm already in Edmonton, about to pick up the truck. So I just wanted to introduce what we're up to and what things are going. I'm hopefully going to be able to put this up somewhere around here, but their website is called wingsofsurvival.com, and it's a great place to get all sorts of new information and updates on how the trek is going. So feel free to check it out. Feel free to follow along. I'm going to be posting some videos as we go, and hopefully as we go through Alaska, Yukon, and the interior of British Columbia, I'll be able to show you some amazing sights, some beautiful vistas, and hopefully a little bit of wildlife, along with me endlessly chatting. So looking forward to seeing you on the journey. Have yourself a good one, and we will catch you later.